Hi, Reece here. So I was just browsing on YouTube the other day and I stumbled across this video by Gareth Oliver, who was actually a contestant on Britain's Got Talent in 2009, the same year as Susan Boyle and Diversity. And it was shocking to find out that he was actually told that he would not be going through to the live shows just before going out. Now, any accusations of shows being rigged is immediately vindicated by that. And it was shocking to find even more that if he did not trim his already short time slot down to 60 seconds, he would be buzzed, which is what eventually happened. So, looking very fake right now, isn't it? Kind of gives you a very good look into the smoke and mirrors going on. But anyway, here's a little bit from that video here, from Gareth Oliver, where he tells this quite unbelievable story.
So I was made aware that I was not going to go through to the live final just before stepping out on stage in the semi-final in front of 15.4 million people. But I was actually pulled out of the dressing room by a producer who works on the show, or did work on the show, I don't know if he's still there. And I was told in no uncertain terms, if I did not cut my live semi-final performance down to 1 minute, I would be getting buzzed off. I said, I can't do that because the song that I'm doing with this Pavarotti doll is a minute long. He said, yeah, just do that. I said, well, I can't. I have to introduce him.
So with that in mind, I thought it would be interesting to look at that performance, that live performance, with knowing this information and see how it holds up, see how this clip looks, knowing what we now know from Gareth Oliver. Now, I will say, he does say at the end of the video that he is now appreciative for what happened because he then ended up doing a pantomime where he met his wife and, of course, eventually had kids. And so he realizes that even though it was a bad position to be put in, he acknowledges that what happened afterwards may not have happened. I mean, very likely would not have happened if it was not for that. So there is a happy end to the story, and his YouTube channel is doing well. He's got 16k subscribers, just over that. So not that he needs my promo when he's got 16k and I've got 100, but go check out his channel. He does videos on there, so there is a happy ending. Just to let you know, out the front, it's not all doom and gloom. But anyway, let's go look at this performance with what we know now.
What's your name?
It's Gareth.
Hello, Crouching Tiger. Hidden Dragon. Flamingo.
Gareth.
Straight away, that's such a clever idea because of how bad the English dubs of those old 70s martial arts films were. That's brilliant. Throwing his voice like that. And that is pretty much what watching one of those is like when you watch those.
In the semi-final.
Being in the semi-final, it means so much. I've done this for 10 years now. If I didn't love it, I'd have stopped by now.
He puts 100% into what he does, and I'm very proud.
I was a red coat at 18. I'm 28 now. To think that I was once this little boy sat on my granddad's lap watching the Royal Variety, I would never have dreamt I could one day be on that TV. This came along. Feels like I've been thrown a lifeline. Tonight, I've got to do something different.
He's very talented, but what do you do
I'm
next?
taking another gamble. I've got a doll especially made. It's a brand new character.
If he blows it tonight, career over.
It is a big risk. It's make or break for me.
I forgot how kind of trashy the openings used to be. Obviously, they're a lot softer nowadays in recent series. But back then, it was just so trashy and so kind of career over if he blows this, which is like we now know, as evidenced by the end of that video and what we see now. That is not the case. But it's just funny to see how kind of sensationalized that is with that comment from Simon, which of course I'm sure producers told him to say that, but you know what I mean, it's just very
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gareth Oliver! Good evening, everyone.
everyone. This is my friend, Pava Potts. Pava, say good evening.
Good evening. Lovely to be here. Ananda, you look fantastic. I would love to take you on a little date.
Hang on, you don't even talk like that.
Yes, I do, you idioto.
No, you don't. Tell them how you speak.
Do I have to? No, don't laugh. No one takes me seriously when I talk like this.
That is why I sing like this.
Get right there.
One north on north, oss
And right there, you can see it's because he didn't concede, because he didn't keep it to a minute. Because, like you said before, he had to introduce him, which you saw him do there. Got the buzz. Was obviously told. I will say it's really interesting seeing Simon's reaction there, because used to seeing him disappointed and like that. But here, knowing that he was basically told he had to buzz, is interesting. How well he sells that, because he looks genuinely displeased when we know he was actually told to buzz. So it is interesting seeing that now, knowing that those aren't his true emotions. He's not really feeling that way. So it does make you wonder. It makes you think, one, good acting on Simon's part, and two, how many other times has he faked a reaction then? Now, I'm not saying every single time it's been fake, because, it can't be that every single time someone buzzed it was because of time constraints or whatever. But it is interesting to think, are there other instances in which the decision has been somebody else's? So actually, what you've seen them act like is actually just been put on because there's some backstage stuff going on. Very, very telling and interesting now, seeing that. And it makes you feel really grateful to know this information now. I'm sure he had an NDA for years and couldn't say it for years, because it was only a couple months ago, I think 7 months ago, I said, or a year ago, this post was. So I'm sure he had NDAs signed and all of this. Could only reveal stuff now, but it's very interesting.
Hey Gareth, a little joke.
Go on then.
What is the difference between a coconut and Simon Cowell?
I don't know what's the difference.
One is thick and hairy. The other one is a coconut. Here we go.
It looks like that was in retribution, but he was probably going to say that. And didn't know that Simon was going to buzz until then.
Well done, Pava.
Thank you, you're very kind.
Well done to you, Gareth, as
Thank
well.
you. Hey, I love you too. Sam Daddy Dozy.
Thank you.
Nearly.
How was that? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. I
Pleased with
absolutely
your
loved
performance?
it. Yeah, I thought you did very well tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Why? Because last time we saw your first audition, you were throwing your voice a lot and doing the martial arts kind of badly done movie thing. Why move on to the puppet today?
Just because I didn't want people to think I was a one-trick pony. I wanted them to know that I'm actually useless at lots of things, So I hope I entertained you tonight. Anyway, guys, and just to let you know that if I do make it through, there's something completely different in the final as well, and it's going to be incredible. So please vote for me.
That's what we like to hear. Let's see.
Again, very interesting seeing that. Knowing that he knew he'd just been told he weren't going to get through. So it's almost like it's a plea, not to the audience, but to the producers of, please don't do this, please allow me to go through. You know what I mean? So that, seeing him there say that, it's like he's basically saying to them, one, trying to force that hand. Look, if the audience really wants something, you gotta listen to them. And two, come on, producers, I have good ideas. So let this come through here. Let me go through.
Simon, you buzzed before the hairy coconut guy, which I was surprised at. That's why you got it. Why did you buzz, Simon?
Well, I mean, if you said there was something incredible to go into the final, why didn't you do something incredible tonight? Oh, come on, seen a lot of...
It's over now between us. It's over.
Peter, look, you're a nice guy, blah, 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 but, this to me...
Good on deck there to correct him. I don't know who he called Peter. But also, how sincere of Simon there. Nice guy, blah, blah, blah. Very much though trying to justify the buzz and the, negativity, really, when really it was more of a awkward backstage thing, and because they knew he weren't the person they wanted to go through.
Bottom of the bill at a very small nightclub. This is not, in my opinion, what I would be looking for this year, because I've seen thousands and thousands of people do this sort of act better.
Pierce, is that... Really?
I think that is the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard.
You can tell that meant a lot to him, but also it's funny to see people on Piers Morgan's side, where someone else has said is bad if people are cheering for Piers Morgan. It's interesting as of late as well, people being a bit more warmer towards Piers, especially after the Russell Brand iconic instant classic moment with the Bible passage thing. So people have already said a bit more positive stuff about him anyway, but it's interesting to see this back then. Him say that. And to have people cheering for him is very bizarre to see.
It is incredibly difficult to throw your voice and sing through a puppet. It's not like normal ventriloquism.
I know that.
He doesn't like anything that isn't a stick insect singing Raise Me Up, age 19 with long hair. You are about variety. This show is about variety, and I thought that was a very, very good performance. Congratulations.
Amanda, very briefly, you were very animated during that.
Cutting away so you can't see Simon telling Piers off. Brilliant comment. I wonder why this was the last time we saw Piers on a series.
Gareth, I thought it was sensational. I think you were a real showman. You really sold yourself well, fantastically inventive, and you've got a great singing voice. He's got a great singing voice.
Thank you very much. Well done. And to see
does.
Gareth back here for the big final on Saturday, it's 09011 32 22 or 6, but not yet. Not till we've seen all 8 acts.
What's the point of
One more
putting it
time,
up?
ladies and gentlemen, Gareth Oliver!
Well, there we go. Very telling, isn't it? It really, you hear about this for years and years. The smoke and mirrors, what go on behind closed doors, how overly produced it is, how everything's rigged. And I think that is one of the truest testaments we've really seen to that. Very telling, just seeing everything go down. And at the time thinking, well, yeah, this is what's happening. And knowing that really there's some backstage strings being pulled just to make it run the way they want it to, as opposed to what the show promises, which is to be an authentic popularity contest, really, of the best people go through. And, Britain's choice of a talented British person who wins gets some cash prize, a career injection, and a spot on the Raw Variety performance. But as we know, it's not always as simple and straightforward as that. But yeah, very interesting seeing all of that. I will say it was a great performance though as well. Good on it. He was really funny and down to earth. It was a good performance, to be fair. Of course, Susan Boyle and Diversity, I think, if I'm going to be entirely honest, they would have gone far anyway. I think it's unlikely that he would have done better than they would, but maybe would have gone further in the whole show. That was the semi-final. But still, to know that strings were pulled to make it go exactly the way they wanted is a bit awkward. But luckily, the guy is really graceful in looking back, and he does realise what's happened. He still does shows, his career didn't end. He does cruise ship shows a lot. A lot of people love his work and have commented, "Oh, I loved him here. I loved him there." He, again, like I said, met his wife. He has kids now. That probably may have, like you said, probably may have not happened. Most likely would have not happened to the same person at the very least. If he had done better on the show, had he won it, for example, because he would have been off somewhere else doing whatever else. So there we go. And ultimately, he has a YouTube channel now, which some interesting stuff and some stuff does pretty well. So good on him. Go check that out. Like I said. Thanks for watching though. Happy ending to the story, I think, but very telling of the sort of machine, what was going on with these shows. But anyway, cheers for watching. Please give a like and subscribe for more stuff like this. Watch another one of my videos, please. I do more reactions. You know, I've reacted to the last one laughing, different international versions, SNL UK, just did Eurovision. So yeah, go check any one of those out. And subscribe for more stuff like this, more great stuff upcoming. But anyway, cheers. Thanks very much, and have a good day.